Hello everyone, Renee with the Blanton Family Homestead, and we got some 6 boxes of these tomatoes from Men's Farms, and we're going to get them canned up. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to wash them all and put them into the sink, and then we'll heat up some water on the stove, and then we'll pour the boiling water on top of the tomatoes, and then we can start the skinning process. Now that our water is cool enough that we can put our hands in there and handle the tomatoes, you can see how the tomatoes is done when you put the hot water on there, and it makes it a whole lot easier to remove the skins off of them. And I keep me a bucket over here to the side that I can put my skins in as I'm working them up, and a kettle that we're going to put the tomatoes in. So we put them on the stovetop and get them cooking. What I like to do is cook them for about 15-20 minutes, and while they're still hot and boiling, I will put them into the jars, and we'll add 1 teaspoon of salt on it. You want to use the non-iodine just like you would with the green beans. And some people will water bath them afterwards, but I don't. I go ahead and just cook them and process them hot, and the jars are sealed. And then we'll get the next batch on.
The AC-130 gunship is made to put bullets where bombs can't go. Nothing can really match the firepower of the AC-130 gunship.
And as you can see, the peels come right off of them.
As long as there's somebody that needs fire support, the gunship's going to be there. To its enemies, it's an angel of death.
The thing about tomatoes is when you want to make sure you get the heart out of the tomato, you don't want any of that to end up in your cannon.
Only to find its strength in darkness. Just the back border. October 3rd, 2016, Kunduz City, Afghanistan. The United States military and its Afghan partners struggle to maintain control of the city.
You need to make sure you get it all out, or the whole batch will be ruined if you don't.
Raids in Afghan villages, hoping to root out the Taliban.
What I do after I get the skin and the heart of the tomato out, I'll go ahead and just slice it some into the pot I'll be using.
38 feet tall, 133-foot wingspan. The AC-130 is hard to miss. This heavyweight is in a class of its own.
Also, when you're working these up, you want to make sure you cut out any bad spots or any bruise spots so that your tomatoes don't go bad.
When soldiers use a fist to come down from above, this is the weapon they call for.
The primary mission of the AC-130 gunship is to support the guys on the ground, to keep them safe and make sure they are able to come home after the mission.
November 2016, Afghanistan. Nearly 1 month since the Taliban attack on Kunduz. Just north of the city, insurgents gather near a village, plotting to make further attacks. For 15 years, peek in and catch insurgents by surprise. It's not easy to catch the Taliban off guard. The ground troops rely on Ball's AC-130 to watch their backs.
We were overhead and scan around their position, making sure that there are no enemies coming in on their locations. This was a large village area, so multi-structures, pretty dense group of buildings. And as soon as the ground force started moving down that area, we started seeing some movement.
Okay. Well, we'll get the rest of these worked up. I'll bring you right back. Okay, I got the first pot on the stove, and now that it's up to a rolling boil, I'm going to turn it down, and I'm going to set a timer for 15 minutes. And I want to keep it about like this for about 15 minutes. And I'm going to come and I'll come and skim the top of it and get off the skim. And I'll do this periodically as it cooks. But you want to get all that off the top of it. Another pot of water on the stove heating up over here. And we'll do them the same way. We'll wash them and then put them in a blanch until we're able to handle them, to peel them. It's been 15 minutes, so we'll cut the timer off, and I got the top skimmed off. You don't want to leave that on there. You want to get as much of it off as you can. And I've got my jars sterilized, and I went ahead and added 1 teaspoon of salt to each jar. And what I'm going to do is get a ladle. Okay. And we're going to, while the still hot and everything, we're going to go ahead and scoop the jar over here, see if we can get over. And we're going to start filling our jars. Doing it this way is about the same amount of time as it would be if you were water bath canning them, putting them through that process. It's still at a rolling boil for that length of time. We're just taking it directly to the jar. To the next jar. And you will want to wipe your rims clean. And we'll go ahead and get the seal put on. And you want to do it finger tight. And we'll set it off to the side. And we'll move on to the next ones. So I'll go ahead and get these filled up. Well, they're all done, cooled and sealed. And out of the 6 boxes of tomatoes, we ended up with 62 quarts. But they're really nice looking tomatoes. I'm delighted. Thank you for joining us. Until next time. God bless.